What if I told you the most important aspect of Tears of the Kingdom has been hidden under our noses this entire time, and that this one ability may be the entire focus of the next game? With the newest trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, we've seen all sorts of new and exciting things, and many people have chosen to focus on the new abilities. But what if that's what Nintendo wants you to think? And that these main buildings may be the most important thing we've seen so far. Before the gameplay trailer, we haven't seen much of this game whatsoever. I mean, sure, we've seen some new enemies before, and that one cave at E3, like 3 years ago now. Nintendo is being really secretive about this stuff compared to what they did last time with Breath of the Wild. Last time they showed the graphics, they showed the world, they showed the exploration, the new abilities, the story. It was like they were showing all their cards to us, and many people liked it that way. Tears of the Kingdom has been a different story though. We've seen little to no gameplay whatsoever until now. Now Nintendo is prone to hiding a bunch of secrets throughout the trailers. I mean, have you seen those towers? Have you seen this guy, the Korok, this new Korok guy? A lot of people have been focusing. These are the things Nintendo kind of lays around the trailer, leaving more questions to be answered. This is what I like to call show rather than explain, where they show something new, but they don't necessarily explain what it does, leaving more questions, building up more hype. Now finally, I can talk about the most missed detail in the latest gameplay trailer. Here it is, in all of its glory. Okay, that was anticlimactic. Hey, turn off the music. Okay, there are two main things I want to focus on and try to explain to you why this may be the most significant thing we've seen so far. And the second theory is something that unarguably may make this the most unique Zelda game out there. The first and the most obvious idea for this new little workstation, as I like to put it, could be used to create more complex vehicles. Now we've seen in past trailers Link lifting up wheels, and in the most recent one we've seen Link putting the wheels together, but it's different because before he was taken out of a pond, kind of out in the ordinary. Are we going to be able to obtain these wheels and keep them in our inventory? I do not know, and I initially don't think so. But what did change my mind was this little wooden bench, this little wooden shed. I don't know what it is, but if you know what it is, just comment below. I can't think of a simple word to describe it, but okay. My point is that the vehicles we see in the trailer aren't stuff we can't just probably not make out of the air. Now, it's strategic as they've put in fans and stuff like that in areas, but how are you going to make an entire hot air balloon unless there's an area to craft vehicles that are bigger? Now, there are two different ways I can see this going. The first one, which I was kind of explaining, of us being able to use past materials to build up stuff. There's a game called Bad Piggies. I don't know if you've heard it. I don't know if you played it. Highly recommend. It's like an Angry Birds knockoff. You build cards. My point is, in that game, you're given a set amount of materials to build a certain car. What if this game kind of uses that same sort of system? These materials will give an incentive for players to explore the Hyrule they may have seen before, but looks totally different. Have you seen the trailer? It's a lot different with whatever clay guys these are. The second idea for a vehicle, some sort of creation, is it to be some sort of blueprint. Now, some of these vehicles we've seen in the trailer are more complex. I don't know how we're going to build them. I really hope it's not this, because if it was blueprints and all we could do is blueprints, which from what the trailer's shown, it's not going to most likely be this. I think maybe if we complete certain shrines or maybe divine beasts, you can unlock certain, like the master cycle, where instead of it just being parts, you're able to just automatically grab a certain vehicle from this part. This might include a hot air balloon, the drone, that car, maybe something more complicated like a motorcycle, maybe a boat. Boat would be interesting. I don't know if you would use that for much, but what if we made like a boat with wheels? That would be funny. But overall, being able to craft a vehicle here necessarily may not make the most sense. And what I at least hope will come to fruition is this theory I'm about to tell you. What if we're using these little house areas, these little buildings? What if these areas were used to build Hyrule? Rebuild Hyrule. I know this might sound crazy, but hold on. Just let me explain myself for a second here. Now, the Great Calamity number 2 now, not Hyrule doesn't get a break. Guardian bodies have been cleaned up, and the more I think about it, the Hyrule is starting to grow back up before this whole calamity thing happens. You can see that there's a time error between when the castle rises up and when the islands kind of settle down and the caves open up. Now, what if we're using this to build houses for Koroks? I mean, we saw Help Me Return My Friend. Maybe earlier you helped build a house for that friend. Or maybe instead we're talking like a Terrytown 2.0, except several different times. I think Nintendo is smart enough to know that rebuilding or some sort of building of a town would make such a difference in this upcoming Zelda game. People would go crazy. They would go insane. But what do you think? Like, your honest opinion. What do you think these things do? Because I'm still kind of questioning. I'm leaning hopefully on that house side rather than the vehicle side. Maybe it's something totally different entirely. Maybe it's a way to get up the Sky Islands. Maybe they're literally decoration. Like, what if they're just decoration and we don't even do anything with them? It's like, that'd be funny. This video would be pointless. So don't make it pointless. Comment below. Give me some of your ideas. Maybe I'll make a video on it. I'll give you credit. Maybe I might just steal your idea. It's okay though. I'll heart it still. Thanks for sticking the rest of the video. Hey, watch this video right here. It's fire. And now I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.